So I'm going to be answering some of your questions. Also, I recently hit 50,000 subs, which I am truly grateful for. Whether you're extremely new here or if you've been around for quite a bit of time, I appreciate all of the amazing support. You make doing YouTube extremely enjoyable and worthwhile, and I cannot thank you all enough for that. So thank you. I cherish you all. Do you ever think that a studio will remake Tokyo Ghoul and make the anime better than the terrible one that we got? Honestly, probably not. I don't think there's really much of a chance for it to get animated quote unquote again, considering there is a long list of manga that I believe should be getting a really good anime adaptation before Tokyo Ghoul gets another chance at it, such as Berserk or even Kingdom, for an example. That has an anime, but it's not all too great. If it were to kind of go in the direction of getting another anime by some means, something along the lines of like Netflix picking it up and kind of trying their hand at it, getting a really good director on board and kind of going from there, I'm not entirely sure. If it was another studio, maybe like Madhouse or Bones or something like that, it's not getting another anime anytime soon, if at all. What's the process of your art direction? Do you have a guy or do you do all the editing design yourself? The style is really unique and inspiring, coupled with amazing content too. Keep going with the great work. Thank you, I appreciate it. Firstly, I do everything by myself. I don't have an editor or anything like that. Secondly, the process of my art direction is kind of just falls down to trying to be unique or trying to have a different quote unquote aesthetic within the community. Everyone kind of edits the exact same way, which is not necessarily a bad thing. There's a lot of phenomenal people out there that do things a little bit differently, but the anime clips that a lot of people use is something that I don't really care for. I think it's severely overused, and it does give a better view, a better connection with what you're talking about, obviously, but for me, I'm all about perspective and people having different perspective on how they view my videos. I can use some sort of imagery or animation, which mind you are just GIFs. They're nothing crazily special, they're just GIFs, which are changed and morphed to fit the aesthetic of like the staticky background or whatever. I could use some animation within my videos that can be interpreted a multitude of different ways. It's more so the essence of pushing people to think a little bit differently or for themselves instead of me just kind of hand feeding it with some imagery. If I'm talking about something, you're most likely going to understand it, especially if I'm explaining it. So if I have something on screen, you get a general idea, but you kind of perceive your own idea instead of me just giving you one, which I find really compelling. You will think completely differently for this section of a video or this section of a video compared to everyone else, which I find pretty interesting. Honestly, it's not really that deep, but it's something that I like to think about. What aspect in your life has Attack on Titan changed the most? Maybe how you look at your friends and family. And what do you do when you're not watching or reading anime and manga? What's your job? What are your aspirations? And most importantly, why do you get up in the morning? I struggle to get up in the morning because I don't really sleep all too often. I have a very, very hard sleeping schedule. I don't think Attack on Titan has really changed anything in my life, like how I view people or anything. I can't really say any medium has done that. It's definitely opened me up to think differently about specific things in terms of learning new information or trying to understand a character better, so I'll do a lot of research, and that's something I personally really enjoy, so maybe in that sense, but for the most part, not all too much. And what do I do when I'm not reading, watching? Mostly editing, to be completely honest. Working. I work quite a bit. I'm a workaholic, to put simply, and I constantly like to keep busy or being creative or something, so that's pretty much all of it. I guess that kind of fits within the aspiration as well, as be as creative as possible in some way, shape, or form. What other series do you wish to talk about on a regular basis aside from Attack on Titan and Vinland Saga? Honestly, I would love to talk about literally anything, stuff that I'm just interested in. Obviously, it doesn't pull in as much traction as Attack on Titan and Tokyo Ghoul, which is perfectly understandable, and with Vinland Saga, I'm kind of just easing people into it. I want to do more content on Vinland Saga, I'm just slowing it down so I can kind of warm people up to the idea or get caught up themselves or at least finish watching the anime, etc, etc. So it kind of depends. I have kind of two different styles of videos. One is kind of more like an open conversation and the other ones are the explained videos. So I think you'll see a mini shift in direction. I'm still going to be doing those two things, but I'm going to try and do more open conversation videos talking about literally anything or like popular stuff within the anime manga community or this or that, etc, etc. So it just needs a bit of time to kind of warm up to the idea and everything along those lines. Are you happy? Yes and no. Why is your channel called Dressrosa? It's pretty simple. It's a arc and an island within One Piece. It's spelled a little bit differently, just with one more S on dress. I think I just liked the name. I thought it looked interesting and it was kind of unique, and I enjoy that arc within One Piece. So I was like, you know what, I'll use the name. It's a little bit odd. No one's really dumb enough to do that, and here we are. Tell us about yourself, your interests, favorite food, who you are. We would all love to know you more. I would consider myself a pretty boring person, considering I work so much. In terms of interests, currently at the moment, nothing all too exciting. I enjoy watching TV shows. I kind of enjoy watching movies, not as much as of lately. Obviously anime and manga. Not really so anime, but more manga. Video games, can't really play as many as of lately. Art, music, and off the top of my head, that's pretty much it. There's probably a lot more there, but it's more niche stuff, really. It's nothing honestly too crazy. Favorite food? Is it weird to say rice? I honestly just enjoy rice. Not by itself, but with other stuff. But if not sushi, if anything, I think sushi is really nice. I appreciate sushi. Who are you? Someone that is severely tired, but enjoys doing YouTube and everything in between, with the ups and downs. Why is your voice so beautiful? I do not know. People just like it, and I think that's really interesting because I've always hated my voice. But then again, I think a lot of people dislike hearing themselves, so I don't entirely know. But thank you. Will Thorfinn ever not be attacked by his sister? Honestly, probably not. I don't think there'll ever be a time within the story where he will not be abused by his sister, which says a lot about Thorfinn's character as well as his sister, obviously. Great character. What is your favorite anime or manga series? Attack on Titan? Definitely not. Attack on Titan is definitely up there, but in terms of a manga, probably a mix between Monster or Oyasumi Punpun. Definitely my go-to for like recommendations or anything like that. Those two are iconics, they're classics, but they're also extremely well done. In terms of anime, I can't say I've watched that much anime as of lately, like over the past year or two. I used to watch quite a bit back in the day. I think an anime that I just personally really enjoyed and has left like a massive impact on me, it's obviously not like a perfect anime, but I think Clannad was really well done for me. Like I really enjoyed it, so I always go back to that one. Do you have any Tokyo Ghoul videos planned? If not, will you make some? At the moment, I don't really have anything Tokyo Ghoul related planned. Do I plan to make some? If something I find interesting or compelling enough to make a video on, then most definitely I will talk about it. But at the moment, Tokyo Ghoul's definitely taken a back seat. Actually, I take what I said back. I do have a video somewhat in my mind that I do want to talk about regarding Tokyo Ghoul, but it's more so like a general topic or an idea or a quote-unquote legacy per se. Where does Vinland Saga rank in your top manga list? Also, please check out Tokyo Revengers. It's a delinquent manga with an amazing concept of time travel. I think Vinland would definitely fall within my top 10. I don't really have like a ranking in terms of like 1 to 10. All I know is that I have like a bunch of series that are very impactful and that I severely enjoy from 1 to like 15, I think. And Vinland Saga would definitely be in the top 10 somewhere. It's an incredible series. And I've heard a little bit about Tokyo Revengers, but I think I may or may not check it out. It depends. Delinquent manga with time travel. I'm very skeptical when it comes to time travel. I mean, I might check it out. I'll see. Your videos are utterly unique. What is your inspiration? Love the content. Thank you very much. In terms of an inspiration, I don't necessarily think I have one. You know how people kind of look up to like someone else or like they're inspired by other people? I don't necessarily have that. I think more so it's my inspiration comes from my drive to be creative or just do something creative. I think it may be hard to kind of comprehend that if you don't really dabble in any sort of creative stuff, which is perfectly fine. I think if you draw or if you're a musician or this or that, you know, something in some sort of creative field, you'll probably understand what I'm talking about to some degree. I just have a very strong itch to be creative, and I think that's my inspiration, just to keep trying to make good content and better myself every single day. Do you use any rating sites? If yes, why don't you post it? If no, why not? Also, how do you get into new anime manga? Do you hear about it somewhere or just start watching, reading it? I do not use any rating sites. I could care less about rating all of the series that I've watched and putting them in nice, neat orders. Like, if people want to do that, that's perfectly fine, but it's just really not for me. I don't really care. How do I get into new anime and manga? Probably see like a trailer or hear someone talking about it, or someone will recommend it to me or anything like that. Like, I'm always open to read or watch new stuff. Mostly read because I can just fly through it. If someone recommends me something, I'll usually and it sounds interesting, I'll Google a couple of images and be like, oh, that looks interesting, and then I'll check it out. So probably like that. Have you ever had a point in your YouTube career where you were completely unmotivated and wanted to quit? If so, how did you get over it? There has been multiple points within me doing YouTube where I just just wanted to like stop making videos or just change or delete everything. And it's a pretty dangerous way to think about it in terms of like everything that you built on YouTube and just wanting to delete it all. I think it just comes with being burnt out. Like you create so many videos and at one point you're just like, I'm over it, I'm done, and being stressed out and everything just kind of leads in together. I've definitely had a lot of those moments. How do I overcome it? I usually try and give myself a break or a breather. I try and make myself relax for a certain amount of period and then kind of set things up to tackle it one at a time. That usually comes in the form of editing. So sometimes it can fall off pretty easily, but it'll come back just as quick. So it's kind of like a blessing and a curse. What made you decide to become a YouTuber, and do you think following 122 there will be any more plot twists in Attack on Titan? In terms of becoming a YouTuber, I think everyone kind of starts off like just wanting to create content or share their ideas or this or that. That's kind of just how I started. YouTube's just like a platform where you can take all of your creative measures and post it for other people to watch or see or anything like that. So I think that's always an interesting thing. Like I said, throughout this entire video, I'm a creative person, so YouTube's just like that outlet for it. And then there comes a point where you have people starting to watch you and become fans of you, and you start making money, and it's very odd when you think about it like that, like where your creative outlet has now turned into kind of like a half full-fledged job. It's pretty weird, but that's kind of how it goes into it. And I think I just enjoyed doing it. I've met a lot of amazing people, and it just kind of went from there, really. I just kept going, and here we are. Just wanted to congratulate you for hitting 50k. You really deserve it, and you're so underrated. Thank you very much. How would you feel about Tokyo Ghoul's side story for Hide after the events of part 1? I don't think it's necessarily needed. It would be very nice to see just kind of everything that happened, but I kind of like the idea of everything not being shown for specific reasons. So I'm kind of conflicted. I think it would be really good, but at the same time, it could break stuff in the core story. So it's like, do you want it? Do you not want it? Is it needed? I don't know. Yes and no. I feel like I'm late, but I'll leave my question on here. What's something that gives you the most joy? Honestly, seeing different people's perspectives or creating like theories in the comment section of my videos, or like people just expressing their like thoughts and opinions within the comment section. To me, that is really interesting. I always love seeing how people interpret different things, because no one's going to interpret it the same way as I do. When I go through and read the comments, because I usually read pretty much all of them, it's such an enjoyable thing. Like it's like, okay, this video allowed them to somewhat spill out all of their kind of thoughts and ideas into the comment section, which I extremely find enjoyable to read. It's a pretty interesting answer, I think. How did you discover your style of video making? I think it's super unique. Thank you very much. Definitely trial and error. I really wanted my videos to be different within the community. It's something that I really strived for and like worked hard to kind of figure out like what works, what doesn't work, what will YouTube allow, what will YouTube not allow, how do I be different without being over the top or this or that. So I know a lot of people don't really like the retro glitch aesthetic because it's definitely heavily overused, so I try and use it not all too much. It is a basis, obviously, that is the style and aesthetic of the video, but I feel like I found this really cool blend on how to do things, and it's enjoyable to make, and it has like that aesthetic that stands out. Like you can click on any one of my videos and be like, okay, that's that person's video. And that's kind of like the big thing that I wanted. I wanted someone to click on my video that didn't know who I was and be like, oh, that's that person. I've heard about this person. Whereas like you'll click on a lot of other YouTubers, which mind you, they do have like phenomenal editing and like it's all really well done, but it's all the same, or at least it overlaps very easily. And the only way you can really kind of pinpoint who they are is how they sound. People view it differently. I just like having a aesthetic that's quote unquote different, or at least I try my best to, and that's pretty much it. How has your YouTube journey been thus far? What are the best parts and what are the worst parts? I think the best parts is obviously the interaction that I get from all of you, and all of you potentially enjoying or even hating a video, expressing your opinions on why you like it or why you dislike it, or expressing your opinions on a character or a theory or this or that. Honestly, some of the best parts of YouTube. I love reading comments. As much as there's a lot of detrimental ones that personally attack you for a lot of different reasons, there's definitely a lot more positive ones, and it's something that I think it's really great. What are the worst parts? Other than like the toxicity that you will always get, which is not something you can really complain about because you put yourself in this position of what people call harsh critiquing, but I'm open to criticism, most definitely, but more so just the general hatred. It definitely gets tiring. And the drama. I think the drama within YouTube is just tiring, just seeing it, and like how it kind of pulls you in, when you don't want to be a part of it sometimes, so I try to avoid it completely. I just do not care less, right? There's all these young people here, I say young, but I'm only 22. There's all these people on here that just kick off all of this drama, and it's just like, I don't care. You do you. Do you have any plans for new videos / series you'd like to cover more after Attack on Titan ends? Most definitely. I have a lot of things in the works, a lot of series that I would love to talk about, whether it be the explained style of videos or the more conversation open style of videos, so definitely look forward to that. Why do you never use pics from the manga of an anime in your videos? Where do you get most of the videos you use in the background? Also, thank you for all the amazing content you make. Thank you for the kind words. There is one reason why I do not use manga panels within my videos. As much as I would love to, where it would hopefully look very interesting and unique, I want to avoid copyright to all extent. I don't want to deal with it. Using official artwork that's published is the first way to do it, and I know a lot of other YouTubers use it and get around it very easily. I'm just not for that. Alright, it kind of works with the fact that I want to try have my stuff stand out. Yes, it would make things easier for people to understand, but then it goes back to people's own interpretation for the animation that I use within the video, which I think is really great. But I just want to avoid copyright, and a lot of people get pinpointed or targeted for using it, even though they've been using it for years. Once that one video comes down because of it, it all starts crumbling, and it's like your catalog of videos can just disappear in an instant. So that just doesn't sit well with me. And the videos I use in the background, like the animation, they're all just GIFs, really. That's basically it. They're all GIFs, and they're changed a little bit in terms of the opacity to fit into the background and to make it kind of fit with the aesthetics. So, do you get frustrated sometimes when your theories don't turn out to be true? I'm talking very specifically about the Aaron Devil theory that turned out to be excellent, but not correct after all. Thanks for all your work. Thank you. Do I ever get frustrated? No, not at all. I don't think there's ever been a point where I've like sat back and was like, oh, my theory wasn't correct. I feel like if you create theories just with the opportunity of being correct, you really misinterpret the story. My theories that I create is more so to make people think, and what I love about theories and how potentially other people create theories is that if someone can create a theory that seems so far-fetched but so accurate and could work so well with the story and is presented in such an interesting way, that is much better than just being accurate and guessing whatever's going to happen. Because for the most part, if you're reading a simple story, you can guess what is going to happen, and it's not really rewarding. You get the satisfaction of being like, yeah, I was right, but I love making people think, making them believe that this could be a possibility, even how far-fetched as it is. And I love doing the research, and my theories never come out of nowhere. I do so much research, so much backtracking in series just to see if this would work and this would work, and they all have context, they all have weight, they all have an importance. They're not just randomly put together in my head and like, okay, that may work. I do not care at all if my theories turn out to be false. The Aaron the Devil theory, I love that video. I could care less that it's false. I never even created it with the intent of being true. So, you have exceptional editing skills. Thank you very much. So my question is, how much time you spend on editing your videos? It definitely varies. Some videos may be pretty quick, from 5 to 10 hours. Others may take from 10 to 40. It severely depends on what I'm talking about and how much detail I want to put in and this and that, and it is a very long process. That's for sure. But the results I'm more than happy with for the most part. I think the hardest thing is trying to get them out every 3 days. That's why you always see me kind of fluctuate between uploading every 3 to 4 days sometimes. So, which other YouTube channels inspired you to make videos in this format? I think definitely Alexander and Sol, which I mentioned before. I know this video was extremely long, but hopefully it gives you a little bit of insight on who I am as a person, how I feel about YouTube or my content or anything like that. Do know that I appreciate you all and all of the amazing support. Here's to 100,000 subs, hopefully in the future. We will push towards that and may or may not get an ASMR video. I don't know how people feel about that. But once again, thank you for all of the amazing support. I truly appreciate it. But I'm actually going to end the video off here. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you in the next one. Goodbye.